So you're ready to start and launch that healthcare business. And the business that you're thinking of launching is considered a medical practice. Now, you know the consideration that if something is a medical practice is usually determined by your state. So if you're in Texas, let's say a med spa or an infusion business, that's considered a medical practice. In some states, it might not necessarily be the case. But in your state that you're trying to start, what you're trying to do is considered a medical practice, and you've determined that you can do the business, as in that you have the skill set, understanding, and the qualifications to do it, but you're missing one piece. You're not a physician. If it's considered a medical practice, then you're going to need a physician to get started. And that can seem overwhelming for a lot of non physicians, whether you're a nurse, whether you're an entrepreneur, or whether you're any other healthcare provider. How do you get into the healthcare space without being a physician, which is an MD or DO? A lot of people are thinking about starting MSOs. A management service organization is an organization that does simply that. It offers management services to what would be considered a medical practice. Sounds like a foreign concept. It's really, really not. This is something that's been offered in other spaces like dental practices or just in other businesses. A lot of times, physicians already have pieces of this to an extent. A lot of physicians have outside agreements with billers, and the biller would charge them 1% to 3% of revenue for the services that they're offering. A management organization will offer a plethora of services in order to get around the monster of the corporate practice of medicine. It can be frustrating for a non physician because you've got a great idea, you know that you can offer a great service, but you don't want to have issues with a licensing board, you don't want to have issues with the IRS, you don't want to have any issues with other regulatory bodies, which you really do have to consider and think about if you're trying to start these businesses. But it's possible. It is possible, it's doable, and a lot of private equity is doing it already. It just means that you've got to take the time and do your research and analysis to make sure that you're doing it appropriately because these things are investigated and evaluated. So making sure that the percentages are right, or if the flat fee is right, or making sure that the services that you're offering make sense for the practice that you're doing, and making sure you're not expanding the scope of the providers. Just because you have a management agreement doesn't mean all of a sudden you're expanding scope of care. If I am a phlebotomist, I don't all of a sudden become a doctor because I have a management agreement. No, all it offers you is an opportunity to manage the clinic of a physician. So make sure that you understand that in whatever that you're doing, that you're keeping within the scope of your care so that we have the correct patient care that's being offered for clinicians. Because at the end of the day, that's really the only thing that really, really matters. If you are thinking about getting started in one of these types of businesses, we look forward to helping you. Reach out to us at dorismeet.com and let's get started on your new dream business. Thanks. Bye.